So talk a little bit about your career. When you left home, where did you go?
When I left home, I went to the convent, the Sisters of Mercy, an Irish order whose founder lived in Dublin. And I was taught by the Mercies in high school.
Okay, picking up where we left off, you were at the convent.
The Sisters of Mercy, downtown Cincinnati, was their mother house, novitiate, and that's where I was for a year and a half. And just couldn't quite get along with the lifestyle. I stayed that long because I loved going to chapel, but grand silence wasn't my thing. So, I left and went to college at Edgecliff and worked while I was doing that, worked full-time and went to school full-time and met Dad my senior year, and we were married the following September. Well, we met December 23rd at a wedding rehearsal. We were both in a wedding. And our first date was January 9th. We were engaged March 28th and married September 10th. A month later, Ted was on the way.
So where did you spend most of your career after
Well,
you got back to work?
after Evan, first I had Ted, then I had Evan 2.5 years later, and then I had 3 late-term miscarriages. I carried the baby 6 months, 5 months, and 4 months. And I was really upset and angry with the church because they sent in to my room to deal with my distress these celibate priests who didn't have a clue. And they would say dumb things and treat me like I didn't have a brain. And I got really angry with the church for sending people that were so out of touch to comfort me. And the more I've prayed about it and reflected about it, dawned on me that until women went into ministry, that's all women were going to get. So then it felt like an obligation. So I investigated with a friend of mine, Father Terry Hamilton. Okay, let's say I want to work with women with problem pregnancies. How do I get the credentials? So he suggested the lay ministry program at the Athenaeum, which is the seminary here in Cincinnati. So I decided that I needed to do that. So I went back to graduate school there and started with the idea that I was going to work with women and the loss of their children. And it ended up, when I got out of graduate school, I taught for a year at St. Ursula in the religion department and pretty quickly learned that that wasn't what I was supposed to do. I loved teaching the seniors, but found it very difficult to deal with the sophomores who saw religion as just something that stood for what their parents believed. And I became a pastoral associate at Bellarmine Chapel on XU's campus. That was in 1986. And I spent my career there until I had to retire due to my health 5 years ago, 2004.
What are you most proud of what are you most proud of about your career?
A couple things. The first thing I'm most proud of is the effort that I I used to walk with people as they were approaching death. And while they were in bad situations, parishioners. And the second thing I'm not proud of, but happy about, is the work I did in establishing the Amos Project, which is a congregation-based organization that works for justice in all systems of our lives. Schools, metropolitan issues, transportation, the courts, and trying to identify problems that point to inequality, and doing a lot of research, identification of the people who can make the change you want to see, and then finding some way to coerce them to do the right thing. So while I was still active with Amos, I was not the first president. I was the first executive vice president, and Calvin Harper was the first president. And under our time, we got 40 congregations to join the organization. So I became the second president. I had to quit that too because of my own pulmonary fibrosis. So I think those instincts came right out of my relationship, or the example shown to me by my mother. And the biggest issue in all these systemic problems is racism. So, and a side effect of that was, if you work in race relations, or probably anything, but my experience is in race relations, if you come to the table and try to sort out what's going on, and you're in relationship with other people, you have to really be open to their experience to understand what the inequalities are. But once you are open to other people in that way, somehow you're changed as well. So it's in a track alongside the main objective of the organization is the possibility of everyone in the organization being changed by their work, being personally changed by it.